What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ADiktion TV. I hope everybody is having a good day. First and foremost, I want to apologize for not uploading as much lately. There's been a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? Personal stuff that I'm not going to discuss. But hey, I'm back uploading again. Before we get started, I do want to say I'm going to try to upload more this weekend, but I got to go to my sister's wedding in Cincinnati this weekend. That'll be awesome. I haven't seen either of my sisters or my brother or my dad or my stepmom in years, so you know this will be a good time. Before we get started, if you haven't already, go down, hit the like button, and if you don't mind, grab the subscribe button. That would be great. Tonight's video is my ranking of the Dr. Loomis performances, and this will be Donald Pleasence. This will be strictly Donald Pleasence. This will not involve Malcolm McDowell. And I'm going to say this first. No performance by Donald Pleasence as Dr. Loomis was bad. None of them. That's not what this ranking is. This is just my ranking of my favorite performances. And you know I had to put this shirt on for the occasion, man. You know I had to, bro. Why not? So y'all know the tradition here on ADiktion TV, man. We're going to get into this video, and before we do that, you already know. We're going to shotgun a beer. Yes, this is a beer you guys are not used to seeing me drink. This is Budweiser. You know, I usually got natural ice, but we're going to go ahead and shotgun a Budweiser. Go ahead and cut this hole into it, and we're going to get it popping. Alright, y'all. Let's do this. This might hurt. This might not hurt. Let's go. Ow. Yep, that hurt a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into this Dr. Loomis ranking performance. And coming in at number 5 is going to be his performance in Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. And like I said, no performance by Donald Pleasence is bad. This is just my least favorite Halloween movie that involves Dr. Loomis. Halloween 5 was just so rushed after Halloween 4 came out. It was like, I don't feel like they fleshed Loomis out enough as a character. And I kind of feel like in this film, it's kind of like you don't even really care about Dr. Loomis. It feels like this movie was so fucking goofy to me. And a lot of people want to wring my neck for saying this, but I will watch Halloween Resurrection over Halloween 5 any day. If y'all don't like that, sorry. This is my opinion, not yours. But Dr. Loomis and The Revenge of Michael Myers, it was like they tried to give him some character development, but they also tried to give him more screen time than they did in Halloween 4. But it didn't pay off for me. You know what I'm saying? Although I think the cast of Halloween 5 was good. I think it was just the writing that was terrible. But there is a quote by Dr. Loomis that I absolutely do love in Halloween 5, man. I love this quote, and it's when he says, I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart I knew hell would not have him. Dude, that quote is awesome. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I just love that quote about Michael. And like I said, no performance is bad. Just Dr. Loomis as a character, it didn't seem like a huge thing to me in Halloween 5. Coming in at number 4 is Dr. Loomis in Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween 6, the 6th film in the franchise, which sadly, rest in peace, Donald Pleasence. He passed away. This was his last Halloween film. And he didn't get much screen time in this film, man. And I love this film. Michael was brutal as hell in this movie. Maybe the most brutal we've seen him until Halloween Kills come out. I don't know. I haven't seen Halloween Kills, obviously. But I like Dr. Loomis in this movie more than I did in 5. Even though he had more screen time in 5. I just love when Dr. Loomis is in the Myers house talking to Deborah Strode. And, you know, explaining to her, like, Michael will come back here. That's a guarantee. And I just love how Donald Pleasence, like, his speech, I just love his speeches in this franchise. And, you know, he's like, she's like, what makes you think he'll come back here? And he's like, he's got all his memories here. This house is sacred to him. His rage. I'm like, oh, man. Yes. Like, I love his performance in it. I mean, he was really old. I'm sure he was tired, but no, that has to be the number 4 spot. I got to take that over Halloween 5, man, even though he didn't have as much screen time as he did in Halloween 5. Coming in at number 3 is going to be Halloween 2. Dr. Loomis in this movie was freaking awesome. I love the opening of this film. After we pick up where the original Halloween left off, and he shoots Michael, and Michael falls off the balcony, and we got Loomis. He walks outside, and Michael's gone. And the neighbor walks out, "What's going on out here?" And Loomis says, "Call the police! Tell him, I shot him 6 times. Like, I love how crazy Loomis was. And because, Loomis knows Michael is a killing machine. But I just love how the neighbor is like, "Is this some kind of Halloween prank? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight." And Loomis is just, "You don't know what death is." And then, pew, 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 pew. I love how Dr. Loomis is just running around Haddonfield just over and over again saying, "I shot him 6 times. He's not human." I love that. And Brackett's like, "Loomis, you're out of your fucking mind." Like, Brackett's like, "Okay, I think I've taken as much as I can from you." And, I love when Loomis is over there loading his gun, and Brackett's like, "Will you put that thing away?" Like, dude, it's just funny. And then you got the one cop that runs into Ben Tramer with the white mask on, and you got Loomis over there chasing Ben Tramer, like, and he's over there like, stop, and he's pointing his gun, and Brackett's like, "Don't shoot, man." Like, it was sad though to see Dr. Loomis get stabbed and then blow up the hospital, and it's like, oh shit, man, we done lost Michael and Loomis, but his performance was great in this movie, man. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Everybody says, each Halloween film, this final girl's the star, or this final girl's the star. But for me personally, Donald Pleasence is the star. Coming in at number 2 is Halloween, 1978, the original, the very first, John Carpenter's Halloween. I love Donald Pleasence's performance in this movie. One of my favorite parts is when him and Marion Chambers are riding up to Smith's Grove, and she's like, "What do we give him when he appears in front of the judge?" And Dr. Loomis is like, "Thorazine." And and she's like, "Well, he'll barely be able to sit up." And that's the idea. He's so calm, but you can tell he's nervous for what could happen. And I love after Michael jumps on the car and he smashes the window while Marion Chambers is in there, but he's got a wrench taped to his hand so he could crack the window. Nick Castle does. But I love after Michael takes the car, Loomis runs up. He's gone from here. The evil is gone. And I love the scene that takes place the next day with Dr. Wynn and Loomis, and they're coming out of the facility, and Dr. Wynn's like, "Well, for Christ's sakes, Loomis, he can't even drive a car." And Loomis is like, "He is doing very well last night. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons." Dude, the sarcasm is great, and it sounds like something that my grandma would say. Like, I tell her all the time, "You are Dr. Loomis." And we cannot deny the epic ass speech that Dr. Loomis gives us in this film. I met him 15 years ago.
I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
All right, y'all. You know the tradition here on ADiktion TV. Before we get to number 1, we are going to shotgun a beer. Let's go. Woo! Damn, that's colder than usual. Woo! And coming in at number 1 is Dr. Loomis in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And the reason that's my number 1 is because I feel like we get to know Dr. Loomis a little bit more as a person and as a character, even though we don't like actually learn anything about him. Like, we don't know if he's got kids, we don't know if he's ever been married, but it just feels like we get to know him a little bit more. And I love how after Michael was transferred, he walks into Hoffman's office and he's like, why wasn't I notified? And, you know, he's like, we're not talking about your average prisoner, we're talking about evil on two legs. I just loved how intense his performance was in this movie. And I love when he goes back to Haddonfield and he's like, I need to speak with Sheriff Brackett. And, you know, Brackett's transferred and then Sheriff Meeker comes in. And I just love how everyone remembers Dr. Loomis, but they all think he's crazy, and maybe he is, but he's right, you know what I mean? And I just love how intense he is when he's like, I'm telling you, Michael Myers is in this town, he's here to kill that little girl, and anybody who gets in his way. I love it, man. I wish Michael and Loomis could have interacted more in this movie, but it's my number one because I just love the ending. I love the ending when the evil is passed on to Jamie and Loomis is standing at the bottom of the steps like, no! 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 It was like, man, that's a hell of an ending right there. But no, that's my number one. And I also love how we get more scenes of him, you know, being a little bit relaxed. You know, like, I know it was fucked up when the jocks and the cheerleaders, they're like, hey, get in here, old man, and they took off and they, you know, left the dust in his face. But I love his interaction with the priest when they're in the truck, and the priest is like, would you like a drink? And he's like, Loomis needed that drink. So we'll gather at the river. And I love the scene where Loomis and Meeker go to Jamie's house, and, you know, Michael had already been looking through pictures and, you know, shit like that. But, you know, I like how Loomis, he finds the dog, and Meeker pops up and he's like, we got something? And Loomis is like, he's been here. And Meeker's like, how do you know? And they look down and there's the dog. We all know Michael likes to eat dogs. But that is my ranking of Dr. Loomis's performances in all the Halloween movies. Like I said, no performance is bad at all. Donald Pleasence killed every performance in the franchise, you know what I'm saying? There's just some I like more than others. But what do you guys prefer? What's your order of Dr. Loomis performances in the films? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Pretty soon I'll be coming at you with my Candyman film ranking. And sadly, my Wrong Turn ranking. I've been working on it for months. I just haven't been very enthused about doing it because the big majority of those movies fucking suck. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, guys, coming at you from ADiktion TV.